Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 1, Lesson 11, and today we're looking at two very different little words that do very different jobs. First, the conjunction, the connector that ties words and ideas together and holds a sentence in one piece. And second, the interjection, the burst of feeling that stands completely on its own. One joins, the other simply reacts. Let's take them one at a time. Let's start with the connector. A conjunction is a word that joins words or groups of words. It can be as small as joining two nouns, book and pen, or two describing words, slow but sure. Sometimes a conjunction links two things of equal weight, and sometimes it ties one idea to another so they lean together. There are three kinds of conjunction, and we'll meet each one in turn. Then at the end, we'll add the odd one out, a word that connects nothing at all, the interjection. The first kind is the coordinating conjunction. These join words, phrases, or clauses of equal rank, meaning both sides of the join are doing the same job. There are exactly 7 of them, and they spell a word that makes them easy to remember. Fanboys. That's for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Look at how they work. Tired but happy joins two feelings. Run or walk joins two choices. In every case, whatever sits on the left of the conjunction matches whatever sits on the right. The same job on each side of the join. The second kind is the correlative conjunction, and these are interesting because they always come in pairs. You use the first word, and then a little later, its partner. The common pairs are both and, either or, neither nor, and not only, but also. Here's one in action. Both the plot and the pacing shine. Notice that both sits before one noun, and its partner and sits before the matching noun. The trick with correlatives is to keep the pair balanced. Whatever kind of word follows the first half should also follow the second half. The third kind is the subordinating conjunction, and this one does something the others don't. It joins two clauses so that one becomes grammatically dependent on the other. Words like because, although, until, while, if, and since are subordinating conjunctions. Look at this sentence. We stayed inside because the storm hit. The first part, we stayed inside, could be a sentence all by itself. But the second part, because the storm hit, can't stand alone. It needs the main clause to make sense. That's the whole idea. A subordinating conjunction hooks a dependent clause onto the main idea. Now for the odd one out, the interjection. An interjection is a word or short phrase that expresses feeling or emotion, and it has no grammatical connection to the rest of the sentence. It just stands there, reacting. Words like oh, wow, hey, ouch, well, hooray, and alas are interjections. How we punctuate them depends on how strong the feeling is. For a mild reaction, we set it off with a comma. Wow, that was close. But for a strong burst of emotion, we use an exclamation point. Ouch, that hurt. So the rule is simple. A comma for mild feeling, an exclamation point for strong. Let's boil it all down to a quick check. First, ask, does the word join two things? If it does, it's a conjunction. Then narrow it down. If it links two equal parts, it's coordinating. If it comes as a pair, it's correlative. And if it makes one clause depend on another, it's subordinating. But if the word joins nothing and is simply there to show feeling, then it's an interjection. So really, the whole lesson comes down to one question. Does the word join, or does it just feel? Ready to try a few together? For this first set, I'll show you a sentence with one conjunction highlighted, and you decide which kind it is: coordinating, correlative, or subordinating. Pause the video and try each on your own before I reveal the answer. We waited, but the bus never came. The joining word here is but, and but is one of the fanboys. It links two clauses of equal weight, each of which could stand on its own. That makes it coordinating. Neither the rain nor the wind stop them. Look carefully. There are two joining words here, working together. Neither and then nor. Because they come as a matched pair, this is a correlative conjunction. She practices daily so that she can improve. The phrase "so that" introduces the second clause, and that clause, "so that she can improve," can't stand on its own. It depends on the first part. When a conjunction makes one clause lean on another like that, it's subordinating. Now each item gives you an interjection and the feeling behind it. Decide whether that feeling is mild, the kind you'd set off with a comma, or strong, the kind that earns an exclamation point. Pause and try each before I answer. Ouch! A sudden sharp pain. That's not a quiet, thoughtful reaction. It bursts out of you all at once. A feeling that intense calls for an exclamation point. So this one is strong. Well, a small pause before speaking. Here, well is just a gentle hesitation, a soft way to ease into a sentence. There's no strong emotion behind it, so we set it off with a comma. This one is mild. Hooray! A triumphant cheer of joy. This is celebration at full volume, the kind of feeling you shout rather than whisper. An emotion that big earns an exclamation point, so this one is strong. Let's gather up what we learned. A conjunction is a joiner. Coordinating conjunctions, the fanboys, link two equal parts. Correlative conjunctions come in matched pairs like both, and, either, or. And subordinating conjunctions make one clause depend on another. An interjection is different entirely. It shows feeling and has no grammatical tie to the rest of the sentence. And you punctuate it by strength. A comma when the feeling is mild, an exclamation point when it's strong. Nicely done. In our next lesson, we'll keep building your toolkit for putting sentences together. I'll see you there.